everyone, it's Jenny from Team Super Awesome Art, and today I'd like to share with you guys this custom Funko Pop of Harley that Hutch worked on. This pop also comes on this really cool base with Joker's body lying on top. I'm going to go ahead and roll some footage of him actually working on this figure, and then at the end of the video, I'll go over everything that he did to make this figure. Alright guys, so there she is all finished. This is a kind of love craze Harley. The inspiration for this figure is the image behind us. I will post all the information to the original artist of this image in the comments below, so you guys can definitely check out his DeviantArt. Now, like I said, this figure was completely done by Hutch. He did the sculpting and the paint work on this. The person who commissioned this one, his name is Kenny. He actually commissioned the Davy Jones that we have up on our channel, as well as the Scarecrow Pop. And what he wanted from this figure was something really different for Harley, as well as something that can stand up to those figures. He didn't want just a regular Harlequin pop, he wanted something crazy and awesome, and he approached us with that image, and he wanted that to be the inspiration. Now, the reason I say inspiration is because that is a zombie Harley that ripped off Joker's head. We kind of wanted to go with more of a kind of a love crazy Harley, and that's kind of the theme for this figure. What's truly amazing about this figure is all the detail that is on this really tiny little pop body. If you guys have ever seen a girl pop, the bodies are really tiny. So it's very little to work with and make amazing. He went ahead and kept some of the tears from the original image, definitely the ones around the mouth, to kind of give her the feel that she did that to herself. He kept her, of course, in the original Harlequin colors and her Harlequin uniform. He sculpted on her neck piece, you can see there, and then he also sculpted on the little boots. To this body, he completely changed the pose of the original pop. He then, of course, had to sculpt a really, really tiny head. This thing is about maybe less than an inch big, and he got so much detail onto that face that is really, really amazing. He even gave it the same expression that is on the original drawing. I also love the way she's holding his hair. It really looks like there's weight to the head, the way that he has her hand clenched around the hair. He then, of course, added blood coming down from the neck. He used Super Sculpey Firm to make the tiny head. He sculpted that separately and then added it to the pop after it was all done. In her other hand, she is holding a really, really huge knife, and it has blood splatter on it. That knife was actually made with some molding plastic, I believe, and I'd say a peg. I think he used a peg, molding plastic, and he sculpted on all of that to make that knife. He then gave it a really cool paint job to give it that really shiny, sharp edge look to it, and of course blood splatter. The next part, and absolutely my favorite part of this whole figure, is her headdress. The reason being is because it is so big and has like a really cool flow to it. I really love the way that it kind of fits the size of the head, the pop head, so making them bigger and giving them that wide kind of flow to them just gives it a really cool match to the size of her head, if that makes sense. So pop heads are huge. It really needed something big on both sides, and he definitely did that. And then, of course, we gave her little pom-poms. I went ahead and sewed those from scratch using yarn. The reason being is because we wanted to get the perfect size for them, and buying pom-poms, we didn't know what size to get. So I just went ahead and made them, and he added those to this figure. They're really, really cute. I love that these are real pom-poms and not just sculpted on, because it does give it a really cool texture and look to this pop. What's amazing, and I think what captures this pop completely, is the eyes, giving her these really big blue eyes and just kind of shadowing them so they have a lot of depth to them. He also added the pupil and gave it kind of like a tiny pupil that gives her kind of a drugged out type look, which is, I think, adds to this figure. And then he also added eyelashes to this pop, which is really cool and gives her a really feminine, really beautiful look, even though she looks crazy. Yeah, I do love that, and I also love the colors that he chose to put around the eyes, in between the eyes and the mask. He added like that kind of skin color to it that he really does give it another kind of a layer to this pop. This thing is so beautiful, and another thing I do love about this pop is the shadowing that he gave to her costume. It's really a really rich, pretty red, not something very cartoony or very bright. So it's really beautiful. He also gave her blood splatter on the white of her costume, so it kind of goes with the theme of all the blood on her face and on the knife. And he also did that to Joker's face. So a lot of tiny detail on this figure. Like I mentioned before, it comes on a base, and the base was actually an afterthought. Originally, we were asked to make just the pop, kind of like the look that this Harley has back here, so just kind of standing with the knife and the head. And then the person that commissioned this, Kenny, he really wanted it to go above and beyond, especially since he has a couple pieces from us and they all come on bases. He wanted this base to really just kind of match this figure. We kind of threw out some ideas, and then Hutch thought it'd be awesome if he just kind of sculpted the rest of Joker's body. She already has the head in her hand, so might as well add the body to this figure, and he went ahead and did that. So he sculpted an entire body to lay on this base, and he did that completely freehand out of clay. There's no pop vinyl in here. It's just clay that he sculpted to look like Joker's dead body on this base, which is super amazing. He of course added some blood coming out from the neck to match the blood coming out from the head, and he kind of tore up his neck there and gave, of course, that blood dripping down. He also did some blood splatter all around the base, including the spot where the head kind of stands or kind of drips from. So you can see it there, that the head drips right on top of that blood splatter spot. He also sculpted a floor texture to the top of this base, and he added a little peg just to give her a little bit more stability since she has such a tiny body and such a big head. So she has a little hole at the bottom of her foot, and it drops right into the peg, just like most girl pops do. And then the other foot rests on top of the body. Like I said, this was a lot of work, a lot of sculpting, a lot of different materials he used as well. He used Super Sculpey, he used epoxy, he used wire, he used a whole bunch of things to get this body to stand in this position. Like I said, he did have to alter the body completely. To get this figure into this pose, he went ahead and cut everything up. He cut at her ankles, at her knees, her hips. He really did cut up this pop completely into a whole bunch of pieces. Also her arms. I don't even think he used arms on this, or the vinyl arms on this figure. I'm pretty sure he sculpted them entirely from scratch. So this pop was definitely a lot of work, but she's worth it because she's awesome. Another thing that I forgot to mention, which I love and it gives this figure so much character, is that he kind of tilted the head sideways so that it's not a straight on head. It slants over just a little bit to kind of give her kind of a crazy look that she has in the original picture. She was super hard to do, guys. This thing was so difficult to do. This body's so tiny, but like I said, totally worth it because she's so beautiful and she's gonna look amazing with the rest of Kenny's collection. He also gave this pop a really creepy mouth. I'm gonna bring this closer so you guys can check this out. This thing is super creepy. Not only are the tears super creepy around her mouth, but check out her teeth. They are super creepy and super gross. She's even missing one. On top of that, look at her tongue. He sculpted a tongue in her mouth and it is super creepy and kind of gross. It's weird, but it gives her so much character. I really love it. I love that little detail. Yeah, she's super creepy. She's cool. I love it. He even ripped up her gums. It's really really weird. It's so creepy. So cool. I'm saying creepy a lot, but it's really creepy. Alright guys, there you have it. I think that's everything for this figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this pop. She's beautiful and creepy. I'm gonna use that word again. She's so creepy and a lot of work, but like I said, it's worth it. I think this is the first time he ever sculpted something so tiny. If you guys have any questions on any of this, please comment below and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions for you. Also, feel free to visit our website. We are working very hard on that. It's not fully up. I will be posting pictures of all the pops we've ever done, as well as sculptures and customs and 3D printed figures. That will all go up there on our website, so please feel free to check that out if you're interested in seeing everything we've ever done custom-wise. Like I said, we're still working on that website, so please bear with us. It should be up and running very soon. If you did like this video, please hit the like button. It really helps us out, as well as subscribe to see more cool stuff from us in the future. Thank you so much for watching.